First thing, of course, was our mystery product that we debuted yesterday, which was the Distress Glitter. And I really couldn't gauge, I gauged the excitement yesterday morning. I was a bit overwhelmed. First time in 10 years I broke a sweat, ever, because all these people were here and I was like, oh my gosh. But the excitement was really cool. And then when I saw social media last night, they were really, really excited about the look of this and intrigued more than anything, which I liked. So what's great about Distress Glitter is that it is a glitter that looks like vintage mica. It looks like glass glitter, but it is neither. It's not glass, nor is it mica. What's cool about this, it is a type of glitter, but it's a type of glitter that has some really unique properties, as all things distress do. First of all, it's going to be a very chunky glitter. So let's take a color like Seedless Preserves, and when you see it in the jar, it's got that great little twinkly, sugary look, which is cool. It's large particles, so you don't have to worry about using this and all of the glitter becoming airborne and kind of spinning around, which I like. You can use it on a lot of different surfaces. If you want to use it on paper, grunge board, chipboard, anything like that, you can. Let me just talk about a couple of tips when it comes to using it. When I use the glitter, I like to first of all start with a color base, whether I'm using ink to color, markers to color, stain, or paint. The reason is, if you don't have a complete coverage, you don't have to worry about seeing any of that other contrasting color. You might want to use that to your favor, like I did here, where I intentionally didn't put glitter around the edge because I wanted to ink it and give it kind of that worn away look. So you can totally do that. But here, really easy to work with. So let's just we'll do a heart. Maybe I want to just do some red. And I don't really worry about necessarily doing the matching color if I didn't want to. So this is going to be like a little fired brick. Put that on. Now we're going to talk about adhesive. So adhesive for this, what's really important is that you want to use a wet adhesive, okay? Most glitters, like if you're talking about Stickles dry glitter, any of those fine glitters, those are Mylar glitters. When you see that metallic, that's a Mylar glitter. And the thing about Mylar glitters, those are the ones that always look shiny. They look shiny in the jar, they look shiny everywhere. But when you're dealing with mica, or even glass, like if you think about like a diamond ring, you need cuts in that. You need the light to hit it in different areas, and that's what's going to give it its sparkle. So if you were to apply this flat, and I'll just take the lid off a jar, if you just see the glitter inside the lid, excuse me, it just looks like dots. Just looks like punch pieces of plastic. Doesn't look like anything. But then when you see it in the jar and you see the light hit it, it's like diamonds in there. So that's what you have to think about when you're applying this to a project. So if I want to go in, let's take a color. Okay, well, I don't want to do pink raspberry. I want to do festive berries. Let's do that. I'm going to choose a wet adhesive. I can use glue and seal. I can use multi-medium. I can use glossy accents. I can use any wet adhesive that I want to use. And you're just going to apply some to the surface. You're going to go in and just spread that out, because that wet adhesive is going to allow this glitter to actually stick to the surface in different angles, different ways. And you don't need much of it. I'm going to place that down. Take your glitter, pour that right over the top. And you don't want to pack it down. You don't want to press it down. You want it basically just to stick however it was going to stick. Shake that off. You can tap off all the excess. And that's going to be your sparkly heart. And I love the fact that when I'm using this, like I got to demo with glitter all day yesterday, I didn't have to worry about the end of the day somebody saying, when's your next show? Because you just walk around Vegas and you're like, when are you going on stage next? Yeah, it was good because, you know, when you work with this stuff, I don't like the fact that glitter is like everywhere. That's just not me. I know some people love it. They'll sprinkle it all over themselves, but I don't really like that. Here's another cool feature of it. I can dry it. So if you wanted to put this on a surface, you can go with a heat tool right away. And most glitters, when you try to dry it, the actual plastic will melt and this stuff will not melt. So I have the ability to dry this. Now, you want to be careful with your adhesives though. Because I use glossy accents, this isn't heat stable. So if you dry it too much, you can get some bubbles in there from the glue that you can press back down. Some people might like that effect. If you definitely know that you want to dry it and you want it to stay flat, then work with a medium that you can dry, like glue and seal or multi-medium. Those are completely heat stable. So here's another great thing, and you can see some of the samples here. This is a glitter that is inkable. That's my favorite thing about this. This is a glitter that I can put onto a surface and go back to my Distress ink pads, which people know and people are comfortable with, and I can alter the color. So for example, this one is in fact tumbled glass. Completely different. And I'll show you under the true color just so you can see it. So you can see that I can go from that bright to that tarnished look just by adding Distress ink, and that ink is going to dry on the glitter. So I can do that if I wanted to do picked raspberry and I wanted to tone that down some, or if I wanted to go in with spun sugar and I wanted to antique that. So I love the ability that I can go in and take those glitters and alter them with different colors, just to kind of give it more of a vintage look, which I love. So on this one I just went in and did some antique linen. I just kind of brushed some of that on with glue and seal, just to show you that when you work with this, all different colors are going to work differently as far as how much color you want to put on. So if I wanted to go in with gathered twigs, for example, if I just want to put a little bit of that on there, I can. If I want to work that into the glitter, I can do that. It's really odd when you're working with that on glitter, the fact that I can go in and change the whole effect of it, giving it that tarnished edge. So cool, that's distressed glitter. That's what makes it very unique, the fact that it's going to be a chunky particle size. So it is different than rock candy. Rock candy still remains a blend, and you can see from this swatchboard that rock candy still has some of that ultra fine in there, fine, chunky, and coarse, where this, all the other colors are just a chunk, because that's what's going to reflect even more than the ultra fine. Any questions before I move on to markers? I know you're just looking at that.
The chunky glitter, if you use your pads or anything, is it gonna chew up your pads at all?
On your blending foam?
Yeah.
No, it tends to really kind of go in there, and what's cool is that you can actually tap it out or shake it out or wipe it out. Now, if you're gonna do a lot of inking, like if I'm gonna go over the surface like this repeatedly and you can hear that, then yeah, it's gonna chew up your foam. So that's why when I was doing blending, I did that, and if you wanna tap that over the top, that's still gonna tint it just the same. So you don't need to blend it into your glitter. As soon as it touches it, that's the cool thing, is I can go in and just alter this just with my ink. So I can go from black to brown just by changing my colors of distress ink. It's very crazy.
Yay.
I know, it is, it's nice. It's just it's a different kind. I think it's, especially around the holiday season, this is really nice for people that like a little vintage sparkle, but they don't really want glitter, you know? That would be me. All right, so let's talk about